There's a quiet fear that lives in the back of many minds, especially for people between the ages of 60 and 85. It's not the fear of getting older itself, or even of illness. It's the fear of ending up in a nursing home. You may not talk about it much, you might even brush it off with a joke, but deep down, the idea of being moved into an institutional setting, stripped of your privacy, surrounded by strangers, your schedule dictated by someone else, feels like a loss of identity. For many, it feels like the final chapter is being written for them, not by them. Let me say this loud and clear, that fear is valid. And more importantly, it doesn't have to be your future. Over the last 10 years, there's been a quiet but powerful shift. Seniors across America are beginning to reject the old narrative. Instead of seeing aging as a slow fade into assisted care, they're rewriting the script, choosing freedom, community, and dignity on their terms. That's what this video is about. When my friend Larry turned 70, his daughter sat him down with what she thought was a practical offer. "Dad, it's time we start looking at homes for you." Larry smiled, but inside, something broke. "A home?" he said later to me. "I already have a home. What I need is to feel like I still belong in it." That sentence stuck with me. See, we've been conditioned to believe that nursing homes are the default next step, as if at a certain age we lose our usefulness, our independence, and our place in the world. But what if we stopped asking, "Where do we put Grandma?" and started asking, "What kind of life does she want now?" Because aging isn't a disease, it's a season. And just like every other season in life, it deserves choice, flexibility, and a deep sense of personal control. Now, to be clear, there are situations where nursing homes are the right choice, especially when someone needs intensive, round-the-clock medical care. But for the majority of older adults who are still mobile, still thinking clearly, and still hungry to live, not just exist, nursing homes often strip away more than they offer. Studies show that institutional care settings can increase the likelihood of depression, cognitive decline, and a sense of helplessness. And not because the staff doesn't care, but because the structure of those places removes the very things that make us feel human: routine, autonomy, and meaningful connection. That's why in this video, we're diving into 7 powerful alternatives to nursing homes, options that are more aligned with how seniors actually want to live today. We're going to explore choices that prioritize freedom, familiarity, safety, and above all, respect. These aren't fantasy solutions. They're working right now for thousands of older adults across the country who've chosen to age differently. And no, this isn't just about money. Some of the most effective alternatives are more affordable than nursing homes, especially when you factor in the emotional and psychological cost of giving up your space, your rhythm, and your identity. By the end of this video, you'll not only have a clearer picture of your options, but you might just feel more empowered about your future, or the future of someone you love. Because here's the truth no one tells you. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to want more than just a bed in a hallway with a call button. You're allowed to demand a life that still feels like yours, not just what's convenient for others. So stay with me. We're going to walk through these 7 options, one by one. You'll hear stories, see real-life examples, and most importantly, you'll discover that you still have more choices than you've been told. Now, before we move on, I want to ask you something personal. Have you ever worried about ending up in a nursing home, even if you've never said it out loud? If that fear has ever crossed your mind, comment 1 below. If not, and you've always felt confident in your future plans, comment 0. Your comment might help someone else who's still quietly struggling with this question. Let's begin with the first alternative, and it's probably the most empowering of all: staying in your own home with the right kind of help. Let's talk about something that's changing the lives of thousands of seniors every day: in-home care. Not the kind you might imagine from TV commercials, where a stranger shows up and takes over your life. No, We're talking about care that fits around you, not the other way around. Here's what in-home care really means in today's world. You stay in the home you know, the one with your favorite chair, your family photos, your memories embedded in every corner. But instead of struggling with daily tasks, you have a trusted helper to support you in the ways you actually need. I want to introduce you to Dorothy, 82 from Iowa. Dorothy lives in the same house she and her husband built in the 1970s. After he passed, she struggled with loneliness and a few health scares. Her children lived out of state, and she didn't want to move. I didn't want to be anyone's burden, she told me, but I also didn't want to disappear in a facility. Her family found a local caregiving agency and hired Linda, a part-time home care worker who visits 3 mornings a week. Linda helps Dorothy organize her medications, drives her to the grocery store, prepares some meals for the week, and, maybe most importantly, sits down with her for a cup of tea and a real conversation. Dorothy says that simple companionship is as valuable as any medical service. That's what real in-home care looks like. It's not about losing independence, it's about extending it. With the right support, seniors don't have to choose between their health and their home. From a psychological perspective, this matters a lot. Aging in place, especially with supportive care, has been linked to stronger mental clarity, better emotional stability, and fewer incidents of depression compared to those in nursing facilities. Why? Because familiarity is comforting. Routine is powerful. Being surrounded by your own things helps you feel grounded, safe, in control. Now, it's not just about emotional well-being, there are practical benefits too. In-home care is highly customizable. You don't have to jump into full-time assistance. Many people begin with just a few hours per week, perhaps help with cleaning or organizing medications. As needs evolve, support can increase. It scales with you. And that flexibility, it's what makes this option so dignified. Let's get into the specifics. Here are some of the common types of in-home care services available. Companion care, conversation, light errands, grocery help. Personal care, assistance with bathing, dressing, grooming. Health aid services, managing medications, checking vitals. Homemaking, light housework, meal prep, laundry. Transportation, safe rides to appointments or social events. And here's the beauty. Many of these services are covered in part by Medicare, Medicaid, or long-term care insurance. Some cities even offer senior support grants or caregiver co-ops that make this option accessible on a budget. But more than any checklist, the biggest benefit is relationship. When you find the right caregiver, they become part of your rhythm. Not intrusive, not controlling, just there when you need them. Of course, not every caregiving experience is perfect. It's essential to interview and vet caregivers through licensed agencies. Ask about background checks, references, and how they match clients to staff. The right fit matters. For Dorothy, that relationship changed everything. "I'm still in charge of my life," she said. "I just don't have to do it all alone." So if you're someone who loves your home but needs a bit of help, or you know a loved one who's in that space, please know this is a very real and beautiful alternative to leaving it all behind for a nursing home. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Does the idea of staying in your own home with a little help sound like something that fits your lifestyle or values? If yes, comment 1 below. If you're still not sure or feel this might not be realistic for your situation, comment 0. Your experience could help others explore new possibilities for aging with independence and grace. Next up, we'll explore another growing option, living with family, without losing your space or sense of self. Let's talk about something that used to be common, then faded for a while, and is now making a powerful comeback: multi-generational living. We're not talking about moving into your children's spare room and hoping for the best. No, we're talking about thoughtful, respectful arrangements where older adults live with family, not out of necessity or guilt, but out of mutual benefit, care, and connection. It's a return to something we once knew instinctively, that families thrive when generations support each other. But it's being reimagined for modern life, with boundaries, space, and dignity at the core. Let me introduce you to Elaine and her son Michael. Elaine is 76, sharp as ever, but after a minor stroke last year, she needed to be somewhere safe. Michael and his wife remodeled the basement into a private suite, full bathroom, kitchenette, separate entrance. Elaine comes upstairs for dinner a few times a week, watches her grandkids after school, and bakes pies for the church fundraiser. Here's the key. Elaine has privacy and purpose. She isn't a burden, she's a part of the ecosystem. Michael told me, "We didn't bring Mom here to take care of her. We brought her home so she could still live, and honestly, she's helped us just as much as we've helped her." That's the beauty of multi-generational living done right. Let's break down what makes this option work, not just emotionally, but practically. Clear boundaries. Everyone needs their own space, both physically and emotionally. Private entrances, designated quiet times, and personal routines matter. Open communication. Discuss expectations up front. What kind of help is needed? What kind isn't? How are chores, bills, and meals handled? Respect for independence. Seniors living with families still need their autonomy. That means being able to come and go, manage their own time, and contribute on their terms. Mutual benefit. Seniors often bring calm, wisdom, and even childcare help. They shouldn't feel kept, they should feel included. When those elements are in place, living together can reduce stress, not increase it. Take the case of Terry, a 79-year-old retired librarian who moved in with her daughter's family in Minnesota. They didn't want Terry to be isolated in senior housing, but they also didn't want her to feel babied. So they built a tiny home in the backyard, a fully equipped granny pod with smart tech features. Terry has her independence, but she's also just 50 feet away if anyone needs anything. And here's what's fascinating. Studies show that seniors in multi-generational households report higher emotional satisfaction, less loneliness, and stronger mental clarity. Why? Because being needed matters. Feeling connected to a family's daily rhythm keeps the mind sharp and the heart open. But let's be honest, this isn't always easy. There will be tough conversations. There may be conflict. But those bumps in the road are far outweighed by the strength of real, day-to-day connection. This model also makes economic sense. Shared housing reduces expenses for everyone. In some states, you may even qualify for tax deductions or caregiver credits when living with and supporting a senior parent. It's not a perfect fit for every family, but it's an option that deserves serious consideration, especially for those who still want to live fully but just need a little more support nearby. So ask yourself, would having a space within your family's home with privacy, respect, and shared purpose give you a sense of stability and joy? If yes, comment 1 below. If not, or you feel it wouldn't work for your family dynamics, comment 0. Your answers help others explore what might be possible in their own lives. Next, we're going to explore a growing solution that's all about adapting your current home to meet your future needs without ever packing a box. One of the most powerful alternatives to nursing homes isn't about leaving your home, it's about transforming it. Let's talk about something increasingly popular among aging adults who value their independence: remodeling for aging in place, or, as some like to call it, future-proofing your home. This isn't just about adding a grab bar in the shower or swapping out a doorknob. It's a complete shift in mindset. Instead of waiting for a fall, a crisis, or a forced move into assisted living, more seniors are taking proactive steps to make their homes work with them, not against them. I want to tell you about Norma, 80, a retired school principal who lives in rural Pennsylvania. After slipping on her stairs one winter, she didn't wait for a second fall to make changes. Instead, she took action. She had a stair lift installed, added non-slip flooring throughout the home, replaced her tub with a walk-in shower, and had smart lights added to her hallways. "I thought I was admitting defeat," she said, "but it turns out I was giving myself freedom." Freedom, that's what this is about. Freedom from fear, freedom from relying on others more than necessary, freedom to move about your own home with ease and confidence. Here are some smart home modifications worth considering. Stair lifts or ramp access for multi-level homes or uneven entrances. Walk-in tubs and barrier-free showers. Reduce fall risk while allowing for dignity and comfort. Wider doorways and lever-style handles. Easier to navigate with walkers or arthritis. Smart lighting and motion sensors. Lights turn on automatically in dark hallways or bathrooms. Voice assistants like Alexa or Google Home can remind you of appointments, medications, or even call for help. Medical alert systems. New models are discreet, wall-mounted, and don't require buttons to push. Norma also had her son install a video doorbell and security cameras, not because she was afraid of intruders, but so she could see when friends or delivery people arrived without rushing to the door. What's amazing is that many of these upgrades are affordable and eligible for senior home improvement grants in various states. Some long-term care insurance plans even reimburse accessibility renovations. And if you're a veteran, the VA offers special home adaptation assistance programs that are underused but incredibly valuable. Now let's talk about something people don't always admit: pride. At first, many seniors feel reluctant to remodel. They think it's giving in, or that these changes will make their home look like a hospital. But the truth is, modern aging-in-place designs are sleek, subtle, and stylish. You're not making your house uglier, you're making it safer and more usable for years to come. Take Roger and Helen, a couple in their 70s who remodeled their kitchen with lowered counters, pull-out shelves, and touch-activated faucets. The upgrades didn't just make life easier, they made cooking fun again. "We stopped ordering out so much," Roger laughed, "because now we actually enjoy being in the kitchen again." Psychologically, adapting your home helps you preserve something deeply personal: your sense of identity. Your home holds your history, your favorite coffee mug, the worn-out spot on the couch where you read the morning paper. These things matter. Aging in place isn't about denial, it's about preserving the most meaningful parts of your life. And here's something else to consider: these changes aren't just for you. Family members and visitors, whether they're young grandkids or adult children, also benefit from a home that's easier to navigate, better lit, and safer. It becomes a place of connection, not concern. We're not suggesting everyone go out tomorrow and renovate their entire house, but start small. Replace slippery rugs, add grab bars in key spots, try out a smart speaker. You'd be surprised how much peace of mind a few thoughtful tweaks can bring. So tell me, would modifying your home to suit your future needs help you feel safer and more in control? If yes, comment 1 below. If you still feel unsure or don't think your space could be adapted, comment 0. Either way, your input can help others feel seen and supported. Up next, we'll explore a growing lifestyle option that balances independence with connection. Independent living communities designed for seniors, not institutions. Let's talk about something a lot of people don't realize exists: independent living communities with flexible support. Not everyone wants to live alone, but not everyone wants the all-or-nothing setup of a nursing home either. That's where this new kind of community comes in, a middle ground between complete independence and full-time care. Think of it like this: you live in your own apartment or cottage. You decorate it how you like. You cook your own meals or not. You join activities or not. But you're surrounded by people who understand your season of life, and you have the option of support when you need it, not when someone else decides for you. This isn't about being monitored, it's about being empowered. Let me introduce you to Eugene, 76. He used to live in a big house after his wife passed. It felt too empty, too quiet. He didn't need a nurse or a full-time caregiver. What he needed was people. So he moved into a small, independent living community in Arizona. Now he spends his mornings walking with new friends, his afternoons in a book club, and his evenings watching classic films in the shared lounge. The staff checks in if he wants. He keeps his privacy, his freedom, and regains a sense of connection. And that's a word we need to focus on here: connection. Loneliness doesn't show up in the blood tests, but it slowly erodes health in ways that are hard to track. A 2023 study from the National Institute on Aging found that seniors who experienced regular social interaction had 60% lower risk of cognitive decline than those who stayed isolated. And yet, many older adults find themselves stuck at home, no longer driving, no longer seeing friends regularly. It's not that they want to be alone, it's that their environment makes it hard to reconnect. Independent communities change that. But here's the catch: not all of them are created equal. So here are some questions to ask when exploring one. Does the place feel more like a neighborhood or a facility? Are residents engaged or just occupying space? Is there on-demand help without micromanagement? Are the activities meaningful or just generic time fillers? Can you keep your pet, your car, your routines? The best communities are designed for vitality, not decline. Take Sarah, 82, who moved into a wellness-focused independent living campus. There's morning Tai Chi, a community garden, and even cooking classes. They don't treat us like fragile antiques, she says. They treat us like adults with full lives. One thing I always recommend is visiting these places during activity hours, when people are doing crafts, playing music, or taking classes. If the room is full of laughter, conversation, or energy, that's a great sign. If it's quiet, sterile, and everyone looks bored, that's a red flag. Some communities are even themed around hobbies. Jazz lovers, artists, nature enthusiasts, even lifelong learners who attend guest lectures and workshops. This isn't just about staying alive, it's about living deeply. And for many people, these setups are more financially manageable than they expect, because you're not paying for round-the-clock nursing or meals you don't eat. You pay for your space and choose support as you go: housekeeping, light medical assistance, grocery delivery, transportation. Think of it like building your own care plan, piece by piece. Psychologically, this model of living gives you something many seniors lose far too early: autonomy. You're not being taken care of. You're choosing how to live, on your own terms. Of course, change is scary. The idea of leaving a long-time home can be emotional. But what if, by letting go of the isolation, you gain a better version of your independence? So here's what I'd love to know from you. Would you ever consider an independent living community if it gave you more freedom and connection? Comment 1 if yes, 0 if not for you. Your answer might open someone else's mind. Coming up in the next part, we'll explore something even more modern: how smart technology is helping seniors stay safe, stay independent, and stay home longer.